Women are wearing a safety layer over their outfits in public to deter creepy men, with many labeling it sad but necessary. Breaking women to cover clothes. This man is suffering. A trip to Hooters used to mean more than just chicken wings. It also meant a little scenery, if you catch my drift. I tell my wife I was going for the lunch specials, but we both knew I was there for the ambiance. But now, my wife just Uber Eats it straight to the house. I don't even like the food. I was in it for the views. Please get rid of Uber Eats. Okay, Mike. All I want in life is to find a hot Asian female to be mine. I would love one that's 5'4", between 18 and 22, has at least C cups, looks great in yoga pants, and gets it very wet for me. Wow. I've been looking for this female all my life, but I've consistently come up short. I've been on this planet a very long time, and I feel like my time is starting to run short. I will be 49 next year, and I'm not looking forward to another year of loneliness. I don't believe in God, but I'm beginning to pray for this kind of female to come into my life. Damn, that is a lot of interaction on a post that sad. Whew, that's a lot of shares, dude. I mean, whether or not this feels like a parody, it feels like satire for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was not, if it was in earnest. It's just so balls to the wall, fetishizing, demeaning bullshit. It's so stupid. Again, I don't think it's real, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. And these men wonder why no woman wants to talk to them. Gave a talk at Oxford and met some emotional support alpacas. The male urge to marry a woman like this and stop her from wearing men's clothing permanently. That's not men's clothing, but okay, pal. Roommate wanted. Oh, this ought to be good. Single male, 44, searching for roommate. Must be female, aged 18 to 25, and single. Must be willing to cook and clean. 1-bedroom apartment. You can use the couch until you're comfortable enough to share the bedroom. No pets, drinking, drugs, no male friends allowed. My home has a no closed door policy. This is for safety. $400 a month. A no closed door policy for safety. Sure as shit ain't for her safety. Tactical baby, go! Tactical baby? Are men okay? Ditch the girly diaper bag. Your diaper isn't your child's accessory. It's yours. What is this? Call of Daddy? You know what? I have always been quite embarrassed by the overwhelming need by certain groups of men, particularly fathers apparently, that need to ungayify everything they do. It screams a lot about them more so than the group of people they pretend are always shoving shit down their throats or whatever. Takes a certain type of person. Like, you can just think something is cool, right? You can. That's totally fine. If you genuinely look at like this goofy tactical baby gear and go, that's just kind of fun, right? That's one thing. But that's not who they are selling to. They are advertising to dudes that don't want to come across as even the littlest bit feminine, all right? Because I guess if you have any, and I mean any feminine tendencies, you're gay, you're big gay boy, you're woman. Military, make you straight. Women should stay pure until marriage, but men should gain experience. The math ain't math in here. Please rethink your life. Yeah, it's just someone who thinks women aren't human. That's what that initial tweet is saying. Women aren't people. They're your toys. They're your trophies. They're the property you get when you've gained enough experience and money as a man. That's what this person is saying. The math ain't mathing for sure. I think we can all agree on that. Oh my God, why are the images so small already? Reina, I'm not even going to try, is a 13-time American Taekwondo Association champion and holds a 4th-degree black belt. So what you're saying is she could murder just about any of us in 5 seconds without any weaponry whatsoever if she so chose. I know women don't want to hear this, but a strong man with no background in martial arts would beat the living shit out of her with one hand tied behind his back. Oh man. Again, bot. For sure it's a bot. This dude's not a human, not a person. But damn, can you imagine actually believing something like that? She could tear your balls off without even touching you. She could just convince you to do it, okay? Look, we know what you are, random account. We know what you are. You want her to beat the shit out of you. And there's no shame in that. If that's what you like, that's what you like, dude. But come on, grow up a little bit. I spent 14 years of bodybuilding to look like this. The girl I'm in love with is dating a guy who can't bench 135 pounds. He's not even rich. Kill me now. I remembered seeing this post because a lot of people were retweeting it and quote tweeting it, saying stuff along the lines of, dude, I've got to be honest with you. That's the physique you want if you're gay, because men love that physique. Like, sure, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that there are no women out there that love a ripped dude. Why wouldn't you? You know, I get it. I could see it. I think it's nice. Good for you. But I guess that's the point, man. You're working on a body that is more, it seems more appreciated by the fellas does than the ladies. You know what I mean? I feel like the average body type, and I mean the average body type, is nicer all around for a lot of women, and he's gonna pretend otherwise. Look, it's impressive, but judging by this post, I feel like you might be a bit of a douchebag, even if you are joking, you know? He's not even rich. You aren't either. I'm willing to bet. Also, you losing your hair there, buddy? How many steroids you taking? The caption was, he knows how to keep a lazy girl motivated. Oh, brother, I'm not looking forward to this. Dude, the straights are not okay. I don't know if they've ever been okay, but today, I'm feeling like they're super not okay. When you're 3 days postpartum, but this is your daily routine, otherwise your husband will send his mom a photo of the messy house. 3 days? 3 days. Your husband's not a husband. He's a little bitch. 3 days. I don't care if he's working 25 hours a day. That's pathetic. That is sad. On dad's part, that is sad. Oh, he can't come home and vacuum, little pussy baby. Can't pick up a vacuum or maybe clean the counter. He has to go running to mommy with photos of the messy house. How do you look, I'm not really all about the you need to be a man and all that shit. I've never really been that way. But I will say, how can you call yourself a man if you send photos of your dirty house to mommy 3 days after what? Holy crap, dude. Woo! If I wonder why he cheated on me was a picture. I see you got a new book. Let's dissect that for just one moment. If that's really what's going on here, can we maybe look into why she would absolutely wall herself off and put up a bunch of defensive maneuvers? That's defensive shit. I mean, a bear trap itself isn't necessarily defensive, but she's covered in spikes, she's got an electric fence, she's covered in barbed wire. That's defensive, right? Why? What have you done? Do not, for the love of God, say nothing, you little creep. Look at that son of a... Look at you. You're scary, man. I'd do the same thing, you freak. Okay, what do we got here? All right. The groom and the... Oh, okay. Game over. Is someone forcing you to do this? I'm trapped for the rest of my life. I've never understood the joke. You know, did it start with the boomers? Because it seems like the boomers hated each other, right? Sure, that's not the case for some of them, but it seems like overall the boomers' humor style was, I hate my wife, I want her to die. I hate my husband, I want to kill him, kind of thing. It really seems to boil down to that. And a lot of it has leaked over into future generations. I don't get it. If you make the ball and chain joke or the I'm trapped or I'm locked down or I'm not free anymore joke one time, we're not getting married. It is that simple, okay? No goddamn way we are going to be legally one entity in the eyes of the government, right? No, absolutely not. No way, man. I've never understood it and I never will. And that's probably for the best, if I'm being honest. Date women who shut the up. Date women who do as they're told. Date women who aren't fatties. Date virgins. Most men have the lowest standards. Have high standards like women do. I think we found patient zero of the male loneliness epidemic. The what? Also, I love that. Date virgins. Well, hey, she can probably take that to heart when dating you, dude. Like, I will never get, I say it a lot that I'll never understand. And again, I want to reiterate, it's a good thing that I never understand. I don't want to understand where this guy is coming from. I don't need to validate his idea in any way by trying to understand it. But it is crazy that one has the balls to say anything even remotely like this. If I posted something like this, rightfully, I think everyone should drag me to death. You know, like, wow, I cannot believe it. A woman defends herself after being assaulted by a stranger, and the headlines are, let's see, not model behavior, blah, 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 aggressively lashes out after why are these cropped? I can't actually read what's going on. Please tell me that there is another image that lets me see what's happening. So I'm assuming she was physically accosted by some random dude. Oh, as a prankster lifts her up as she leaves a fashion show. Yeah, bust his nose up. Break that motherfucker's face open. You don't get to do that. You don't get to touch people, let alone grab them and hoist them into the air, okay? That's ridiculous. Women are not your playthings. You don't get to call it a prank. You don't get to call it a joke. What? What is wrong with you? You know damn well if a big dude came up and grabbed you and tried throwing you around, oh, you would try to murder that guy. You know damn well. I'm talking to the prankster, of course, who was probably watching this video. Endometriosis, a condition affecting 190 million women and girls worldwide and causes internal bleeding, was given funding for a study in 2013. Instead of studying the causes, what could help cure or ease it, and what may make someone more susceptible to it, they studied the attractiveness of women who had it. Yes, this is a real study. Hold on, wait, whoa. Oh my God, no f***ing way. You're kidding me, right? Sorry, I'm looking at the National Library of Medicine. This is a retracted article, but the study was called Attractiveness of Women with Rectovaginal Endometriosis, if I'm saying that word right. A case control study. All right, hold on. Let's very briefly read one part of this case control study at an academic hospital. Patients, 300 women. Let's see. Assessment of attractiveness by 4 independent female and male observers? What? A total of 31 out of 100 women in the rectovaginal group were judged as attractive or very attractive, compared with 8 of 100 in the... Dude, what is this? Here's the conclusion. Conclusions. Women with rectovaginal endometriosis were judged to be more attractive than those in the 2 control groups. Moreover, they had a linear silhouette, larger breasts, and an earlier what? What is that? What is this, dude? This is crazy. Hold the phone. Also, just so I don't leave you hanging here, again, apologies to the editor, I will get you this imagery. This article has been retracted. The entire group of investigators contributing to this study requests to withdraw the article. We conducted the study in good faith and according to correct methodology. We believe that our findings have been partly misinterpreted, but at the same time realize the article may have caused distress to some people. Women's respect is a priority for us, and we are extremely sorry for the discontent the publication originated. Wow. That's crazy, dude. We believe that our findings have been misinterpreted. No, I think we figured it out just the fine. I feel like we know, okay? I love that. I think you guys just misunderstood and you're stupid, but we like women. Okay, anyway, moving on. Let's see. Male pattern baldness had more research than endo. Male pattern baldness. Yeah, there are ways to technically treat male pattern baldness. I take a pill for it, right? Remember the study that was about how endometriosis affects male partners? Yeah. And sadly, that study found women with endometriosis to be more attractive, so there goes any hope of treatment. And my jaw stayed in place. The world will never care enough about our suffering. Hell, they just took away one of the, or they're trying to take away. They didn't actually take it away. They're trying to take away like the only safe painkiller that women can take during pregnancy. It's about suffering for them. That's it. What exactly happened here? Feminism was created to force popular culture to accept ugly women more. Or ugly women, doesn't say more. I'm sorry, when I saw people complaining about this, really creepy telling complaint, if I'm being honest. Like, do people not remember how old she is in that first game? The character that's being represented here? What exactly are you, what are you implying, my friend? Anyway, I think she did great. I really liked her in the role, okay? I haven't seen any of season 2. I heard, unfortunately, it dropped the ball, as a lot of stuff does, but I still think she's probably one of the standouts, dude. Like, truly loved her in season 1. Good God. Oh my God, it's so small. Sorry, I had to zoom in. Yes, feminists, stick it to the patriarchy with no bra day. That'll show him. About breast cancer. Well, of course he's going to ignore that. I mean, let's be fair. Steven Crowder can't read, right? So even if he could take in some of the information about what no bra day is all about, he's not really going to fully comprehend it. He can't. You gotta remember, this guy's head is a coconut full of That's about all he's got in there, you know? The dude wears a holster to look tough. He's not exactly the brightest bulb in the silverware drawer. New Jersey man stabbed in the head protecting friend from violent ex-boyfriend. She probably still friend-zoned him. Focus on yourself, king. Why don't you focus on yourself, you lonely dork? I protected my friend, and I bet she still wouldn't f*** you, would she? Well, women. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People are crazy. I love it. I love crazy people. They're the ones that keep me working. Let me tell you, dude. Weak Hercules. Weak? Hercules wasn't weak. What are you talking about, man? Let's see. Washed up actor ironically being unironic? I've been a Vikings fan all my life. I need a new team now. Do people understand that focusing on the one male cheerleader standing with 20 beautiful women cheerleaders is in fact gayer than actually being gay? That twink bouncing around on the sidelines is distracting me from the buff daddies slamming their sweaty tits together on the field, the straightest people you'll ever meet. I have always wondered what is with the hyper focus these ultra super straight apparently men have on other dudes. It's non-stop. They are always thinking about gay male sex. That is, they're constantly thinking about dudes. Why? If you're so straight, again, why aren't you focusing on all them baddies right there? They're right there. They're dancing. They're not hard to notice. Men aren't allowed to be gynecologists, or if men aren't allowed to be gynecologists, then women shouldn't be allowed to be urologists. Despite me, all for equality, right? The majority of gynecologists are men. What are you smoking? You know what? I want to look at something really quick, because I would have to imagine that for the longest time, like most industries, medicine was dominated by men, and that's starting to change a lot. So men literally had to pick that as a specialty. There couldn't be literally no doctors, no gynecologists. We had to have gynecologists, right? And at that time, it was definitely a male-dominated space. The entire medical industry was, right? And I know that that's definitely changing. Probably not enough. If you look into it, it looks like it's becoming significantly more, I guess, not female-centric, of course. It just looks like more and more women are able to join in and become doctors and all of that, and they're making up a larger percentage of them. And I'm sure that a lot of them are choosing to go into gynecology instead, which, yeah, I do feel is more appropriate. I mean, if I put myself into a woman's shoes, I probably would be super comfortable with a random dude, even though I know it's not a random dude, it's a doctor, dealing with that sort of thing, you know? I've heard horror stories about gynecologists being rough, mean, not gentle at all, jerks, some sort of weird sense of disempowerment being involved there. I'm not saying that that's the case all the time, but I could see why you would not want your gynecologist to be a man. I wouldn't, okay? Were you harassed and assaulted by men more after getting your plastic surgery? After my husband made me get implants and fat transfers to my butt, I've been groped half a dozen times and twice in the last 4 years. I used to think he was cruel for not letting me leave the house without him or a male relative to chaperone me, but now I understand. If I wasn't lied to by American feminism and obeyed my husband as God commands, I wouldn't be carrying a strange man's child. I, for my own sanity, want to say that this is just either a bot or some random dude trying to get feminism with a mic drop, because it's anonymous. I mean, I would say you should probably say this anonymously anyway. I don't know why you wouldn't, but there's just something about this that reeks of a man trying to trivialize what it means to be sexually harassed, assaulted, whatever. I don't know. I really, really hope that this isn't some woman who has actually had to deal with this and is now carrying some random man's child. Especially after her husband made her get plastic surgery. That is just crazy. I'm convinced if women didn't have vaginas or tits, men would spend zero time talking to or courting women. Am I right, or am I damn right? If women didn't have vaginas, we would hunt them for sport like we hunt deer. Okay, I'm convinced it, man. See, guys that talk like that, are you sure you're not gay? What do you... Am I right or am I damn right? You're damn stupid is what you are, dude. Someone just called my 9-year-old gay on Xbox, and he responded, "I'm straighter than the pole your mom dances on." I'm not intervening. Seems like the kids are gonna be all right. Although this image is probably really old, so what do I know? Kids are probably still all right. Like, what? How am I supposed to know? I'm not a wise old man who knows everything yet. Japan is a really safe country. Unless, of course, you are a woman. Judging by her profile picture, she probably dresses very immodestly by Japanese standards, so she's kind of asking for it. The majority of girls go their entire life and get groped on the train maybe once or twice. Oh, that's okay then. As long as you only get groped once or twice in your entire life, whoo, then it's okay, right? Need I remind you that cell phones that are manufactured for use in Japan cannot have the camera sound disabled at all? You want to know why that could be? Do not sit there with a straight face and tell me that there isn't a problem for women worldwide, and just because you like anime, it does not mean that that problem does not exist in Japan, because it's there and it's bad just like it is in a lot of other places. Probably worse than a lot of other places, all right? We gotta stop letting random dudes online Japan their way out of any kind of actual sensical thought. Conservatives literally can't tell the difference between telling children how babies are made and telling your coworker she has a nice ass. Why is talking sexually at work considered sexual harassment, but talking talking about sexuality to kids in elementary school is considered essential. Kids actually have to learn about these things for their own safety and growth and health. It's good for them to understand the way this stuff works before they become an adult and jump into that world or drop into it. It should be the parents' job, but parents are giant pussies and refuse to do it. So that's why it's done in school. I am almost 100,000% certain, which is impossible by the way, but I'm almost there, that every single teacher, when they first heard they were going to have to start teaching children about sex and sexuality and all that, they were like, I might quit. This sounds awful. Absolutely not. I have to do what? But there you go. And yeah, likening teaching kids about that, again, before they're dropped into that world for their safety. Education is a safety feature of the world, right? It is. Likening that to talking sexually at work, whoo, that's crazy, dude. I haven't shaved my legs in a really long time, and while I was babysitting, my skirt edged up a bit, and the 7-year-old I was watching said, ew, you should shave that, hair's not supposed to be there. I don't know why I read it like that. And I said, well, if it's not supposed to be there, then why does it grow there? And he was really silent for a long time, and then finally said, let's watch Sonic the Hedgehog. Tumors grow. Are they supposed to be there? It's called evolution. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's useful or wanted. Local man compares leg hair to cancer. Genuinely thought it was a smart argument. More at 11. Where are they? We need to talk about the Lego boob situation. No. Hold on. I'm gonna hear them out. Where are Lego boobs? I mean, look, from a humor standpoint, I gotta know where the Lego boobs are, dude. I feel like, ladies, are you not interested in figuring out what happened to Lego boobs? Or, why they haven't been a thing? Come on, I'm sure you are curious just as we are. Day 10 of turning these lesbians into normal straight girls. All they were lacking was an actual alpha to show them what a man is. Now they come running to me so they can be in the pack of an actual alpha. Joke's on him. I've been doing that for my whole life as a girl. That has to be a parody account, right? I can't for my own sanity believe that there is a person out there that actually thinks that even in their wildest fantasies, they're going to turn a gay woman straight because they're such an alpha. Oh yeah! Being murdered by a man is the leading cause of death in 18 to 44-year-old women globally, but we're concerned about the male loneliness epidemic. I think the murder and sexual violence goes up when more men are lonely and frustrated. It's a bad recipe for society in general. Your loneliness is not a woman's problem. I have to say it, okay? I'm a lonely guy, but I know damn well that it's not anyone's problem but my own that I am lonely, okay? I mean, I got friends that care about me. I have a network, and I know a lot of dudes out there are definitely lonely because they don't have good friends, or they're estranged from family, or whatever it be, and that sucks. But blanket making the entire other sex an issue because of that loneliness doesn't make any fucking sense. They're not doing anything to you. As a matter of fact, they want to just live their lives void of people that try to make them feel bad or in danger. I don't know what the problem is here, but the male loneliness epidemic, if there is such a thing, and again, like I said, I am very lonely. But I would never, ever, ever, ever make that someone else's problem or blame that on women. I'm lonely because women are mean. No, I'm just scared to go out. I'm scared to be myself in front of everybody, let alone the opposite sex, Sometimes it's really hard to take a breath and maybe try to dissect the reasons as to why. I know I isolate. I know I'm not super comfortable doing most things that I would say neurotypical people are comfortable with doing. Like going out all the time and being social. They have the energy to do it, Just quit blaming all women for everything. Sorry, I'm talking directly to incels and, anti-feminists and blah, 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 blah. I'm talking directly to the bad people, not the people that are genuinely going through it and they don't necessarily know why. And I don't mean to make light or try to, again, generalize things in my own way. I know my language is not getting that across properly, but just need you to know it's not women's fault that you feel lonely. It's not their fault. And hell, it might not be yours because I don't know. I really hate the notion from people like this, bot or not, that they're lonely and frustrated because women won't have sex with them. No, man, no, that's not it. This is why Disney's about to lose 300 So many men have clearly never seen a woman up close in their whole lives. and they're missing out, dude. They could be normal and kind and graceful, actually those things, not acting, and they could probably actually see what women are really like. It's crazy, dude. I've seen like 4. There's a lady that wakes up at 5 a.m. to make her husband lunch for work. I've always been too lazy to wake up and get his lunch ready, but the day he told me a colleague brought 2 spoons so he'll eat with her was the day I set my alarm for 4:50 a.m. Why are women lying about this? Like, what's the actual cause? In the first reply to this poll, there is a picture of Ollie Murs before and after a 12-week gym transformation. Do you think he looks better before or after? Are you male or female? Male, better after. Men projecting their own idea of what they think a hot man is onto women is easily the cause of 90% of male insecurities. It's men who make you feel inferior, not women. I can safely say I could agree with that from my own experiences, because it does seem a lot like, whether it's magazines with edited dudes on the front of them, you know, or seeing another sexiest man alive thing, a cover of that going up. I don't know. I know where my insecurities come from, and it's usually corporations that pay incredibly already rich men to look like this. I mean, I don't know about Ollie Murs, but you know, you look into, say, Hollywood, those guys only look that way for very short spans during the movie's production because it's hell. When you look at the physique for Wolverine, holy crap, man. Hugh Jackman I feel like he's talked about how awful that is to keep up. Brendan Fraser said it was like torture, or it was almost killed his ass getting the physique for George of the Jungle, dude. That's crazy. What's the ideal age to get married? Biologically 15, socially 26, legally after 18. Culturally, 24 to 28, economically above 30, and logically never. Okay, buddy. Man buys house next to his ex-wife and installs a $7,000 12-foot bronze middle finger statue aimed at her window and lit with spotlights facing her yard. So these motherfuckers are both rich, right? What the hell? If this is real, that is the most pathetic man I've ever seen in my life. Girls that gave the nice guy a chance, how did it go? Ironic that the girls/women on this thread evidentially do not know who the nice guys are. All I'm reading are stories about psychopaths. This would trigger so many leftists and feminists. They hate biblical headship. I obey my husband. My wife obeys me. I mean, look, if that's your kink, man, I don't give a shit. That's you do you, dude. Could Fox News not have used photos like these of a murder victim? Oh, for fuck's sake. Wow, all right. I mean, that's Fox News for you. Scum. I love Picasso. He's my favorite artist. Most of his paintings are women crying. You know why? Because he raped them, abused them, and said they were so pretty when suffering he had to paint them. He disgusts me, and still, it's one of the only artists we work on in class. I've never heard any of that specifically about Picasso. I have heard that he was a huge piece of shit and an asshole, but I've never heard about him doing that. Given what I have heard, I mean, I could believe it. GOP senator introduces bill to make all porn a federal crime following Project 2025 playbook. They'll use an easy target, but it's to open the gates so they can start telling you more about what you can and cannot enjoy, what you can and cannot pay for, what you can and cannot do. They want to own you. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe them that they're just going to stop at porn and debauchery in the name of protecting the kids and stuff. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. They want to own you, dog. That's it. The body of a pregnant woman is the ultimate sign of a wife's submission. She submits her body. She overcomes the fear of childbirth. She changes her future. Her time and energy for her husband to bear, care, and educate his legacy, to honor his last name. This is precisely why feminists are so insanely pro-abortion. Pregnancy is submission. I always thought pregnancy was about the magic of having a child, someone that you can care for, someone that you can love, someone that you can raise and teach to make the world a better place as they grow old, as you have. But I guess it's all about submission and being a slave. If straight men were smart, they would come to pride to meet women. Millennials who are very cavalier about not having children are in for a shock when they enter their 40s and realize that life is only half over. What do you do at that point? Keep trying to be sexy and have fun? I expect to see a lot of sadness and confusion about what to do at that point. I'm sorry, honey, but in my 40s, I will continue to be sexy and continue to have fun. Does that bother you? I get to do that. Clearly you don't. I hate these. Can you imagine if gay people invited their family over for a party so they could wear shirts that said, "The cum came from here and went there"? My family would never speak to me again. Can I buy you a drink? Sure. She's not interested. Thanks for the shitty AI garbage. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I have to let you all go, but you're just not freaks anymore. Okay? All right. I got nothing. Outrage as novel rewrites gay World War II hero Alan Turing as straight. Awesome. Tie her legs tightly. Men cannot be trusted, not even with a dead body, thinking a knot would stop us. Can you, for 1 second, not be creepy? That's not a funny joke. That's just so weird to me, man. Having the gall to post anything like that. It's not gonna stop me. Right, guys? Isn't that funny? One man's trash. Sorry, but you are too old. Another man's treasure. You are all I ever wanted. What is this, dog? Doctor wouldn't tie my tubes because I wasn't married and maybe someday my husband might want kids. Medically, my body belongs to a man I haven't met. Absolutely insane that I could go to my doctor tomorrow and have a vasectomy within like a month. No questions asked. But if a woman wanted to go and have this done, they have to go through 47 different doctors who all say the same thing. What if you change your mind though? I'm not going to do it because you might change your mind or whatever. Oh my God. I know it's not as simple as snipping the balls, but still utterly insane that women are not allowed to make their own decisions. Still, after all this time.